This is Josh from Shamma Sandals, and I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about a project I'm doing. I've kind of been doing this big project for quite a while, which is reworking the workshop and expanding it. One of the things that was going to be like the last thing I did on this project was going to be this wall here. And by wall, I use the term wall very loosely because it's just a tarp, and it's kind of a bummer because this tarp is hiding the forest right behind us. But it's been raining, there's wind and rain and leaves and all that kind of stuff, and so we got to keep the workshop sort of sectioned off, protected from all of that. So we threw up a tarp, and we've been working so hard for the last few months. We really just haven't had a break or chance to complete the project. Well, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take I'll show this material to you in a second, but it's basically like a thick, clear vinyl material. My family and I, we love watching the Great British Baking Show. We've watched 3 seasons. I gotta tell you, my favorite is probably actually Masterclass, when Paul and Mary are showing you their recipes afterwards. But I digress. In that show, it's so cool. They do all their baking in this big tent in the British countryside, and they have their windows and all that, and that's the same material I bought and I'm going to use here. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to, I've got these rolls I'll show you. I'm going to have to take those rolls and cut them down and sort of, they're only about, this wide. So I'm going to have to sew some of them together, and then I want to be able to take it apart, certain sections of it apart if necessary. So I'm actually going to put a split in it, and I'm going to do some hook and loop so that we can stick the ends together and pull it apart when needed. Anyways, yeah, so that's what's going on, and let me show you the material. This part is a little tricky. So I've got these different sheets of material that I've cut out. I laid out the roll of the clear vinyl, and now what I need to do is got to get it through my sewing machine, and I have to join. See, I've got a whole long roll of it there, and I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to sew these two sides together. And my sewing machine, if you look at it, it's got a space for about an inch. I'm sorry, about like a foot. So I could have a foot wide piece of material here, but these rolls are like over 4 feet wide. So my plan is, and we'll see if this works. So I'm just going to roll it up. I'm going to roll the material up like so. And I don't know if this is like the right approach. I've never done this sort of thing before. But I'm going to roll it up, and then I'll put the two sides next to each other in the sewing machine, and then I should be able to control the material in the overlap, but we'll see. So I've got my two materials, and I'm just going to overlap them right here, and I'm just going to feed it through the machine and hope it works. Alright, here I am, about probably 3/4 of the way through the project. If you notice behind me, it's all clear, and you can see that the first section of the clear plastic is up, and so far this section is going a little smoother, and mostly that's because I'm getting better at working with this material, but it's really a pain because I don't have a table that's big enough. And so in order to feed it through the sewing machines, I'm having to roll everything up. So I sewed 3 sections together here, but I still have to sew the bottom section. So I was rolling it up this way, then I had to unroll it and roll it that way. What I did is I put this piece of wood in the middle because it's so long I can't even fit it on the table. So I'm just using this piece of wood on the inside and rolling it, and just having to be careful as I go. But you notice now I got to go back all the way over to this end because the material bunches up on itself constantly. So other than that, the material is sewing really well. That's one nice thing about it. It's easy for the machine to go through it, and it seems like it's a nice, tight, strong stitch. So it's gonna last, but it's just it's like a big, ugly bag of snakes, and I gotta lay it out straight here. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel for more weekly content. And make sure to click the bell so that you'll be notified every time we post something new.